love the movie Sinners, but ... Part 1. There will be spoilers. I love the movie Sinners, but it's literally the plot of From Dusk Till Dawn. Two criminal brothers head down south to start new lives. While down south, they are trapped in a building that's in the middle of nowhere, and they find themselves surrounded by vampires. One of the brothers is seduced by a beautiful vampire temptress and gets turned into a vampire. The other brother, who's a straight shooter, leads a group of survivors to survive the night until dawn. And throughout the movie, we have discussions about religion, faith, and family. In the final climactic battle of this movie, there's a huge fight between the survivors and the vampires. The Asian character in this movie sacrifices himself to protect their family. One of the characters in this movie who was turned begs their loved one to end their life, and with tears in their eyes, they do. And after killing all the vampires via sunlight, the only two survivors are the brother and the hopeful youth. The hopeful youth whose father was a preacher. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here because I follow people in the horror community. No one's talking about this. It's insane. There is one fucking movie that Sinners owes everything to, and it's not fucking Puss in Boots. It's goddamn From Dusk Till Dawn. And like, I'm not saying Nosferatu, Dracula, Sinners, From Dusk Till Dawn, but I will say that Ryan Coogler needs to firmly address that he was inspired by a Latin American vampire movie because we are owed our flowers. Also, Ryan, I saw that tamale story you put in the movie. Where's the fucking Latino extras? Come on, Ryan, you're so good at putting Latinos in your movie. What the fuck happened here? You don't put Latinos in the movie, and you steal from the biggest Latino vampire movie? Come on, man, that's a bad look.
I don't think this guy liked this movie at all. I think he might be a racist.
Loving something does not excuse you turning a blind eye to its flaws. Acknowledging and discussing the flaws of something you love is healthy and leads to a better relationship. Hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to be talking about how the vampires in the movie Sinners don't make any fucking sense. Have a magical day, everyone.
I'm gonna take a sip of my morning coffee before I say what I'm about to say. You know what? Who cares? What the hell is wrong with Latinos? What the hell is wrong with us as a whole? Like, seriously, we need to start talking about this. It first started with over half of us, 60% to be exact, voting for the orange tyrant, voting against our own people, our own interests, and we're seeing how that is playing out. You know what? We're not going there. Then, the Latinos had the caucasity to go on Beyonce's internet, attacking Black people for not rioting in the streets like they were doing during the Black Lives Matter movement on our behalf, when it was the consequences of our own actions that got us here in the first place. Like, how are the caucasity? Like, seriously, that is caucasousness. Then to add insult to injury, there are Latinos going on Beyonce's internet, attacking Sinners, Ryan Coogler's masterpiece, because there wasn't Latino representation. First of all, don't come for Ryan Coogler, okay? Because while Latino people are just bending the knee and kissing and licking boots just to get invited into the room, let alone a seat at the table, Ryan Coogler was like, F that table, I'm gonna make my own table. Beyonce was like, F that table, I'm gonna make my own table. And they now are inviting their own people to these tables for these opportunities. And you have the caucasity, because that's what it is, Y'all acting like the white people that they want to be so damn bad to be accepted by so damn bad because there's not Latino representation. Y'all are confusing representation with the showcase that was Sinners, the history lesson that was Sinners. Like, it's not the same. What makes me so sad is, when did Latino people become like this? When did the orgullo, the pride, dissipate into thin air? Like, when are we so accepting of bare minimum, a little cameo in the movie, or just like invited to their spaces that they don't even want us in? Like, when did, like, we need to have a talk. We are not okay as Latino people. As a Black Mexican American, okay, so I'm both. Can Black people just not have their moment? Can Black people just not have all the flowers that they're given right now? Because make no mistake, what is happening amongst Hollywood and the entertainment industry in regards to Black people bulldozing these doors open and creating their own lanes and creating their own spaces, it's beautiful. It is, man, I'm getting goosebumps because I am so damn proud to be Black. You know, I'm so damn proud to be the other, you know, like and then you have Latino people coming in here trying to ride on the coattails. It's like, create your own damn freaking lane. Some Dusty on TikTok want to compare Sinners to From Dusk Till Dawn, which, make no mistake, From Dusk Till Dawn is an iconic movie. One of the baddest women to ever grace the earth was in that movie, Miss Salma Hayek, who created a scene that is so iconic, and I understand that, but how can you compare the two? I'm not getting the correlations, because From Dusk Till Dawn was representation. You just had Latino people in there, but there was no history lesson. There was no displaying our culture so beautifully like Sinners was. You know what I mean? It's like, when did we get like this? Why are we all of a sudden like this in droves? Because like I said, it wasn't even half. It's not half and half. It was over half of us. You know, it all started with the election that kind of put it on display, right? But my gaster is flabbered. I just don't know what to say anymore. I don't know how we got like this, and we need to stop. We need to freaking stop and get out of the way, because this is Black creators, Black directors, Black musicians' time to shine. You know, Black actors. Like, this is their moment. We don't need to try again to attach ourselves and hoping that they, you know, maybe create a lane for. No, we can do that for ourselves. We can do that for ourselves, and we have been. Why are Latino people acting like we're not creating spaces and, you know, creating our own lanes? And there's so many Latinos in the entertainment industry that are doing this for us as well. Like, I don't get it. Now I'm gonna have my sip of coffee, because I'm done. I'm shook.
I just have to say, recognize when the moment is not about you, and when other people are celebrating a huge victory and moment. I have the flu right now, and I think I got it because I went to see Sinners in the movie theaters because I got sick like immediately after. But what I've been thinking is, like, as soon as I get better, I want to go back into the theaters to watch it again, or I want to watch it at home. And I'm a Latina. I've been seeing all of the discourse around that video about why Latinos are not featured in it, and I just like going crazy watching the video. I left that movie theater, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I was like, wow, what a great movie. It was so creative, it was so different, I've never seen anything like it. I left that theater feeling curious about Black history, like Irish history, Chinese history, like in America, and was like excited. And I think it's really hard for films to create curiosity around history. I think it's hard for history movies to do that. Sometimes it can be like really boring or predictable or whatever. And I'm saying this as someone who used to be a US history tutor. Like, I get it. Like, sometimes they're not very exciting, but this movie was so creative, interesting, layered, well written, well thought out, and just made me excited. You know, it was like something different. I've been having a lot of time looking at videos about the movie and breakdowns and like Easter eggs and references and historical things, and like seeing all of those breakdowns make me want to give it 5 stars, because I'm like, oh, I just like didn't understand like this, and this, and now that I've seen these videos, I understand it. I want to watch it again, and like am excited, you know. And I can recognize when the moment's not about me in this movie. Like, recognize when the moment is not about you, and appreciate what it is for the communities that it represents, because the layered and thoughtful work that went into crafting this to make something so compelling and that would make people interested and curious and excited about history, leaving that theater is amazing. It's a hard thing to do. I think there is something to be said, obviously, about, you know, Hispanic people not really being represented in movies or stories not being told. That is very fair and valid. I don't think this movie was the one to tackle all of those things. Like, to put all of that on one movie is kind of insane, especially a movie that wasn't intended for us, and that's okay. There is art made by Hispanic, Latino, Mexican artists, movie makers, playwrights, everything, and use, you know, if you have a platform, you can use your platform to highlight those things instead of focusing on this one movie that you're expecting to carry the story of all groups or something. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. Like, it did such an amazing job weaving together, you know, 3 or 4 actually, because of the like indigenous stories, cultures and backgrounds, and like weaving that into one thing is amazing, like an amazing feat. And if you feel like there aren't any stories that highlight what you want to be highlighted, write them, write a play, write a movie, direct a movie, invest in young filmmakers and education. There's like a lot of avenues to do that instead of like trashing on a moment that isn't ours. I'm from the US-Mexico border, and I've been writing a book about that experience, because in media there's like a one-track mind when it comes to people from there and what it's like to be from there, that is just not representative of what it actually is like to be from there. So I've written about like family, like socioeconomic status, generational trauma, like so many things that add like a more full picture of what it's like to be from there, because I haven't seen a lot of media that represents that. So like, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna write something, I'm gonna do something, instead of looking at movies like Sinners and being like, oh, I should be there, why am I not there? That is very weird. That is very weird to me. And I know I've seen other people on here like have similar sentiments, but I just felt like I had to say something because it was making me crazy. And if, you know, people who are curious, who are Hispanic, who like are inspired by this movie, because I could see like so many different communities being inspired by, not even just the ones that are represented in the movie, but like so many being inspired by the story, like writing about the Mexican-American War, writing about the Texas Ranger program and like how that impacted Mexican people and Hispanic people. The Bracero program also, how that impacted, you know, the fallout of that, and like how that impacted the country and Mexican Latino people. Many opportunities to use some sort of like historical element and like weave that in and like write a good story, something compelling that will move people and like inform people, and hopefully have this same impact of making people excited and curious about history. But yeah, just know when it's not your moment. And if you're upset that, you know, your voice isn't being heard or your story's not being told or where you're from's not being highlighted enough, like, go write that thing. Go write it.
Well, it was only a matter of time. Here come the Latinos and Hispanics. They mad they don't have representation in the Sinners movie. I don't know. Was Black Panther not enough? We got to share everything. Everything that we do for us, when it's good and it hits, it's got to include you too. We can't just be like, yeah, we want to do this big one for us. That's what?
I know y'all did not get on this hit app and complain about Ryan Coogler not putting more Latino representation in a movie about 1930s Mississippi, when the last time I feel like I seen real Afro-Latino and Latino representation was in a Disney cartoon animated movie called Encanto. You know what? I'm sorry, Encanto. That is the first movie or animated movie where I have truly seen a dark-skinned, curly-haired Latino. Because guess what? Afro-Latinos exist. As much as y'all try to deny y'all blackness, we exist. But y'all want to cry about representation in a time where y'all wasn't in Mississippi. Like I said, I could have seen if the movie was in Texas, I would have gave y'all some leeway, because Texas was Mexico before it was colonized. See, the difference between y'all and us, we know our history. Especially our history in the US of A. Open a fucking book before you start complaining and crying about stupid shit.
Hey, Latinos, come here for a second, especially if you have my complexion. Come here for a second. This is what we're not gonna do. We're not going to sit here and complain about not being represented in a story that we don't exist in. I'm sorry, but we were not there. Let's do a mini history lesson. Now this over here, you can see where those red lines all are is like former Mexico. Notice how Mississippi is over there. There is the dominant immigrants in different places, and Mississippi, no Mexico. Let's fast forward to the time of this movie, 1930s. No Mexico. But we could have been there. We could have been there in like small, like, but why would we be thrown in there if we weren't there dominantly? Like, these are our dominant places. And yeah, different sad history was going on. We were getting booted at the time. But what about Chinese settlers? Why were there Asian people in this movie? Because of historical context. It's almost like this director, Ryan Coogler, a black man, made a movie about black struggle in the 1930s, sharecroppers. We weren't there. You know how inspiring it was to watch this movie do so well, for Ryan Coogler to get the deal that he got, to be doing so well, like at the box office. I bought tickets for IMAX to see this. I never go see IMAX. Like, no, I'm not going to expect it from him because it's not asked of us when we make movies. And I had forgotten that I had already blocked this man before. What is his name? Matthew Torres, who has, first of all, forgotten about Black Latinos. I believe he was the one that talked about Miles Morales not being Latino because he was Black, and coming for indigenous communities as well. And you know what? It took me one Google search, because his main thing is that Ryan Coogler stole from Dusk Till Dawn and didn't credit any influence for it. And it took me one Google search to see that he called Robert Rodriguez one of his big heroes. And he talks about Dusk Till Dawn. So get the fuck out of my face. Maybe before we come for a black director who has worked his ass off, who is incredibly talented, and has gotten to a point where he can use Hollywood money to make stories about his people for his people, which is incredible, maybe we need to start looking inward at our own communities and how representation is a little fucked there, you know? Maybe we should look at what he has done and be inspired that it is something that is achievable. Call me crazy, but should we not be excited, maybe congratulating and being so happy for Ryan Coogler and what he has accomplished? Should we not be going out to support these movies and Asian movies and Native American movies and Palestinian movies and more Latino movies, and making sure that everyone is supported so that we can see ourselves on more screens instead of fighting? I do not understand. Trying to tear another group down instead of being inspired by that group and wanting the same for ourselves, wanting more artists who tell our stories for us.
Well, since we're already here, we might as well bring up the fact that it is not just racist white people that are causing a stink. It's also other ethnicities, other marginalized groups. Like, I don't know if you've seen that guy on TikTok that went on a rant about where is the Latino representation in the movie. And it's like, be so for real. Wasn't not Nan one of us complaining about black representation when we saw the movie Selena? We let y'all have that. Y'all ate it down. We love Selena the movie. We don't hate. Like, black people want to see other people win. But a lot of the times, it's not reciprocated. Like, y'all don't really feel happy. It's always a like, well, I guess. And it's like, no. If we rise up, y'all rise up. And what I see the problem is, a lot of y'all don't go and support when your people do make films. When they do have stuff out there. You're not hyping them up on social media. You're not going to the cinema to actually support. But you will get on here and complain about other people who have figured out how to do that and how to get the needle slowly moving. Y'all have a problem with that. So I just think everybody needs to take a chill pill and realize that there's room and enough pie for everybody. There's no need to hate on everybody. We want to see everybody win. If you fuck with us, we fuck with you.
You don't put Latinos in the movie, and you steal from the biggest Latino vampire movie? Come on, man. That's a...
So first thing is, you're upset that he didn't put Latinos in his movie, right? That's one. It's not fucking about y'all. How about that? How about we start there? It's not about y'all. It's about the black struggle during the fucking Jim Crow era in the 1930s. Okay? And if we're being historically correct about a fucking fiction film, there wasn't too many of y'all down there. Barely enough to fucking sneeze at. You're reaching. But I'm gonna continue. Your goofy ass have the nerve to say that this man who came up with this movie while cooking in his kitchen with his wife because of a song that played on the radio that he was listening to, he stole something from a Latino vampire movie? The fucking movie From Dusk Till Dawn wasn't a Latino film. It was made by a white man. Just because they had Latinos in the film as leads don't mean it was a Latino film. Get your fucking facts straight before you try to come for somebody. And also, why are you even talking about anything that don't got shit to do with you? How about let's start there? Didn't a large portion of the Latino men in real life vote for a motherfucker that don't even like y'all? And you got the nerve to try to say somebody stole something from fucking... Bro. The thing that really fired me up is the fact that he said Ryan Coogler stole. He stole the idea. Last time I checked, Quentin Tarantino is a white man. He not Latino at all. So where's the Latino vampire film that you talking about, Goofy? Why does a black movie telling black stories need Latino representation? Do you motherfuckers always insert us into your mix? No, you don't. If anything, y'all don't fucking like us. I'm not gonna say all y'all. Majority of you motherfuckers don't even like us. But when we got something and it's fucking big and it's hidden, y'all come scurrying around. I know another group of people that do that stupid shit. I wonder. And also, why you trying to say a black man stole something from somebody? Being owed your flowers is cultural. AAVE if you have it. Where did that come from? So, who's stealing what? So tell me you didn't do any research without telling me. Because Ryan Coogler, the GOAT, vocally came out and said that From Dusk Till Dawn influenced his movie. He didn't steal shit, it influenced a bit of it. It's a fucking vampire movie. They all gonna have similarities. So, like I put on your post, shut your ass up and go find somebody else to play with.